Arguably, one of the greatest things about the medium of film or video are the discussions it creates. A good film will entertain, but a great film will keep you thinking and discussing it long after watching. So, how can a film spark such long discussions and leave a lasting impact? By using subtext effectively. In this video, we'll explain what subtext is and show you how to write it. Subtext is any content of a creative work that isn't announced explicitly by the character or author. It is the underlying message that isn't stated or shown. Imagine your film and its story as an iceberg, with the majority hiding underwater. That underwater portion is subtext. Here's an example of how subtext works. Imagine a character that is angry. When asked if they're okay, they say, "I'm fine," with an annoyed tone to their voice. The character isn't directly saying he or she is angry, but we can read between the lines based on the tone and action of the character is angry. Now, that is a very basic example of subtext. Subtext can be used countless ways to really bring your film to life. Here's an example of subtext from film history. In Steven Spielberg's Jurassic Park, while the surface story is about dangerous dinosaurs, the underlying story of the film is about the main character's fear of becoming a father. The event of the story focuses Alan Grant, the protagonist, to look after the park's grandchildren and protect them from its dangers. In the end, Grant feels comfortable with being a father, knowing he can handle the challenges ahead. When it comes down to it, subtext engages your audience. It helps develop your characters as well as build dramatic tensions and add depth. It is an essential tool that professional filmmakers are always thinking about, looking deeper past what is being recorded in their frames. Subtext allows you to write screenplays with multi-layered narratives that keep your audience unpacking your film long after viewing it. There are many different ways you can use subtext in your film. Here are 3 major categories of how to write subtext. Privileged subtext. This builds the tension of the story. It lets viewers know critical information about the plot that the characters don't know yet. Revelation subtext. This kind of subtext builds slowly and towards an underlying message throughout the narrative until it is ultimately revealed. Subtext through questioning. This subtext comes in when the viewer's curiosity leads to unanswered questions about the plot or the characters. Writing subtext can be a very difficult and intensive process, but in the end, it's worth all of the energy and time you put into it. Here are a few tips to help you start writing subtext. Study subtext in films and novels. Look at what the characters are not saying. What is the writer's intention? What are you not seeing that's developing in the narrative? Think from your character's position. If you're writing dialogue or a course of action for a character, think about their perspective. Think of all the things that could influence what they say and do. Circumstances might have them hide something from another character, or they could behave in a particular way due to an event that is affecting them. Take a moment to think about the objective of the character after reading a script. Then consider the obstacles that they may face. Characters adopt different strategies to try to conquer their obstacles, and then these tactics change based on subtext. Know what the scene's subtext is while you're writing your script. Really cut deep into what the character is feeling in the scene. Even if they aren't acting in a way that expresses that emotion, people are very rarely fully act the way they feel. When it comes down to it, the best way to become better at incorporating subtext into your work is by practice writing it. The more experience you get with writing subtext, the more natural it'll become. When it comes down to it, the best way to become better at incorporating subtext into your work is by practice writing it. The more experience you get with writing subtext, the more natural it'll become. Subtext is a powerful tool for filmmakers because it helps build more complex and engaging stories. When used effectively, subtext can result in a movie being discussed and remembered for years to come.
Continued learning and practice, as well as taking refreshers on the basics, will help keep your skills sharp. Check out our video courses to stay on top of your game. Find a course by visiting videomaker.com/courses or click the link in the description.